Friends, my name is Engineer Vikas Shukla. Today I am going to talk to you about linear equations in two variables. Before proceeding any further, I think we need to talk about what exactly we mean by variables. Variables in mathematical sense means any quantity whose value we don't know as of then. So suppose somebody asks us a question that do you know somebody's age or the flow of this flow velocity of this river or the speed of that car. In that case, you assign a variable whose value you determine in some other time in future as you proceed to solve the problem, and for that time being your variable would be just that A, B, C, D, anything. So that is exactly what do we mean by variable in mathematical sense. Now, as we cleared that up, I think we should talk about the equation. What exactly do we mean by equation? Equation is anything that establish mathematical relation between one variable or two variable and some constant. It involves mathematical operations between those variables. As you can see behind me, this is a typical example of a linear equation involving one variable. Here x is one variable and we are establishing a mathematical operation that is known as equality, and this whole thing is known as one equation. Linear why? Because there is no power over that variable. So this is we mean by equation, and in general by a linear equation. So this is a typical example of linear equation in one variable. Now linear equation can be of one variable to two variable or number of variable as often is necessary. So this is a typical example of linear equation in two variable. Linear equation in one variable is typically just one point on a number line. Linear equation on two variables, as we can see, is actually defined on a graph, on an xy graph denoted by two axes that are mutually perpendicular. So typically this line like this is linear equation in two variable and defined by this line. So there is one fundamental quality or principle, as we can say in mathematics, that we must understand, that you can have a linear equation of as many variables you want, but you need to have that many equations to solve that particular problem. Suppose you have linear equation of one variable like this, you have pretty much solution like over here itself. So x is 40, this in itself is a solution and also an equation, but here it is different ball game altogether. Here you can see there are two variables and we have pretty much relation between those two variables as defined by this equation, but you cannot solve it unless you have another set of another equation. So suppose you have linear equation in two variables, you need two different physical condition based on which you will formulate two separate equation which you solve in order to get the value of two variables. So like this is a typical geometrical representation of linear equation in two variable. In order to solve, you need another line to cross it. We can further discuss it in following videos if you like. So that's that.